GM. Give me a few seconds to just like get going. Let me share the screen, or like let me just like share the yeah, let me share the stream instead of screen. Let me get some people in, and afterwards let's just get started, because like I do kind of feel that whenever an asset looks like this, you're looking to buy rather than to sell, right? So yeah, give me a little bit. GM, I'm pretty much, I think, halfway. Let's get started in a little bit, folks. Boom. I think we are nearly there. I mean, like, I think like we're pretty much there. How are you guys doing? I mean, like, you know what? I kind of decided for myself, like, I cannot. I'm covering. I know. I'm kind of a broken record with regards to DeGods and Y00ts, right? But to be honest, folks, right? Like, whenever, oops, 3, 2, 1, boom. Whenever an asset looks like this, right? A clear breakout plus retests, and obviously it's always safe to just like wait for like the weekly close, but like who knows what the weekly close might be. I kind of feel like this is like the pattern we're kind of waiting for, right? So, you know what? The resurgence of like NFTs and Y00ts and DeGods and all the good stuff might actually be like rather soon, I'd reckon, right? I do kind of feel that like what I expect at these levels, right? Like honestly, is something to this extent. No financial advice. I'm a guy who calls himself Cat Guy. You don't want to take like any financial advice from someone who calls himself Cat Guy. This would kind of make sense to me. Right? I know it's kind of hard to believe, but we've seen like other... Let me get like some other ones up. I think like Teo Robotics did like something similar. I mean, like Teo Robotics did something way crazier and had less of a clean structure, in my opinion. Right. So this is like speculation at the best, but like on the other hand though, from the collector's point of view, right? When do you want to start collecting, like before or after the boom? I mean, like if it's me, definitely I prefer to collect my stuff and collectibles before like prices explode. Let's just call it like it is. That's part of the fun, right? Like who's there first? Force pattern. Boom. I don't think this is going to be like the best fractal, but like it might. Oh my god, that's just fucking... That's quite the abomination. Jeez Louise. I mean, we've broken out. We did break out, and obviously, like, other than us not going quite as low, like, it's following this path, like this exact path, right? Like, boom, 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 there you go. Who knows, like, how high this could go? And who knows, like, it might fail as well. Let's just call it like it is, right? Like, anything can happen in, like, the crypto space. But if you're ever going to decide for yourself, like, you know what, like, I was never able to get myself like a DeGod, and I kind of like the art, I kind of like the community, or I kind of want to be part of a community, right? Might be like a good like idea to step in right here, right now. Who knows, right? If anything, if you would be of the opinion that, like, you know what, like, I am in, so hypothetical, bear with me, guys. If you were of the opinion that you would like to step in, just not right here, right now, when would the counter argument be, right? Would you wait for like one last push? Would that be the counter argument? Would you think that like this would fill and we get something like this? Sweep of these lows before we go higher? Possible, who knows? Would they close like above like the resistance though? I don't know. Before we get into like the gist of things, right? Like which ones are like the most fun ones to like select out of. Just look at y00ts though. Sure. I think like I'm pretty sure Utes looks really similar. I mean, like, we can all kind of feel it, right? Like things are heating up for NFTs. They're heating up. Like I don't see like as many like people just like yapping, being emotionally like broken, right? Something is about to like change. And if not, if I'd be wrong, then you know what? Then fuck me sideways. Then it's going to take like a whole lot longer for like interest to return at this asset class, and that's just kind of what it is. Utes, boom. Yet again, really similar. So ego aside, right, folks? If this weren't NFTs and this were a shitcoin, right? Would you be like, oh, that looks bad or this looks good? And like some people are non-believers in like technical analysis with NFTs, which is perfectly fine, right? To each their own. But I mean, like, for the sake of it, what if the thesis would be like incorrect? What if like what if it would work, right? And that's a big what if, right? Because like fact is like nobody fucking knows, and especially with like war going on, etc., times are risky. I mean, like, I'm not sure what to think of like this kind of fractal, but if it would be true and like these fractals would kind of get into play, then I mean, like, the targets would be fucking mind-blowing, right? I'm not saying this is going to happen though, right? Like, it's kind of, who knows what's going to happen, right? What would be realistic? Like, I think this is kind of where Tensor sucks. Let's just call it for what it is. Yeah, like it always kind of fucks around. So basically, like, the problem right here, right now, is that I cannot really generate like a potential target. Because it kind of changes with I mean, like, it is whatever. Like, do we think like a mild 15x versus Solana would make sense here? I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily likely. Sad but true. I don't. Doesn't mean like it won't happen. Just like feel like basically calling for like a 15x overnight or even more. Yeah, I mean, like, it's a 15x overnight pretty much. Kind of delusional. We are definitely in a delusional market though, but like I'm not sure if it's that delusional. Let's just make this fit for 2 seconds. This would be what, like a 13x, which is also like kind of high. I'll tell you what I think is like quite reasonable. And again, like, folks, like, I do want to cover this part. Also, like, whatever platform you're streaming on, right? Twitch, Kick, YouTube, Twitter. Feel free to chat, right? I want to make this as engaging as I possibly can. I want to make this as good as I possibly can. I want to make it as fun as I possibly can, right? So chat with me, tell me what to look at. Like, let's start out with like the curate with like the technical things, as in like why this could or why this could not be like a good idea to buy like right here right now. And afterwards, let's get to the fun stuff, right? Like at the end of the day, we all want to curate, we all want to just like pick like the ones, the one, like the few NFTs which are just like the absolute best ones, like the best opportunities, like the coolest ones, like the most beautiful ones, right? The ones you kind of feel would be like a good representation for your identity. Whoops, that's not the good one. But let's see, you know what, like without like smoking like too much crack, right? I think the 3 Solana would be like a nice first target. I do kind of feel we've already had like a nice little retest. We've been consolidating above resistance for like the last little bit. I think like this might be like a good first target. That's one. And like the 6 Solana level, right, is 6 point something, 6.5. Might be like another like good target, right? But and again, like if things would get crazy, who knows, right? And that's just like the truth to like these kind of industries. Like we don't know, like it's very emotional, it's very young, we do not know, right? We don't. But what we do know is that like there's a hell of a lot good floors, I believe, like right here right now. Boom. Let's see what we have here, right? Because like this, at the end of the day, like this is like the part I like the most. Is just like getting yourself some good art. And I mean, talking about good art, Evergreen Jones, cheers, brother. Happy to see you here. It's really cool to see some kind of a beginning stage of like a community forming, folks. I'm not going to lie. We're here like at the bottom of NFTs. We will not be one of the fucking grifters. We've been doing this since like the heart of the bear market, folks. Keep that in mind. We are nowhere near done. We're only getting started on this. I mean, let's see. I mean, like, there's quite like a few good ones here. I kind of like this one, right? Money Band looking really, really, really good with the glasses, right? Green on the green. The glasses, I mean, like they don't really like match too well with like the red here though, but like I'll take the green. I think it's good enough. Like the shirt is like more so like a tint, right? Like it's monotone anyway, so who cares? The blue is kind of like out of the blue, but I think it's a fun one at pretty much floor price. You know what, like folks, like one thing to consider, right? Like y00ts do not have rarity. They do have like more in demand traits, but fact is like every trait is like equally rare, I should say. Let me just like fix my posture for a second. I believe I've had this one once. I do like it a lot. At some point, like the Guzzlers were like a little more in demand, right? I think like it's a cool looking profile picture. I think like it's cool art to collect. I mean, like if anything, like you gotta appreciate like the detail, right? Like if you're a fan of like this kind of art, like these kind of collectibles, I think the details on y00ts and I guess like more so on DeGods, it's quite insane. And like the cherry buffer jacket is definitely like a fan favorite. I mean, like stuff like this makes it like very fun, right? The heart on the zipper, right? I mean, like if you don't zoom into these things, like you wouldn't know, but like that's like half of the fun, right? Like zooming in, appreciating the art, the curation part, deciding for yourself like if this is something you would actually like have fun with. I'm having fun with this, if anything, right? Like I think it's the same kind of feel like someone else like collecting Pokemon cards would basically have, right? And like, you know what, like at the end of the day, like the glasses, like they're kind of shine through, so you see the eyes, which is a little more in the matte than other ones, right? But like the glasses, they match well with like both like the Guzzlers, right? And like the cherry puffer. I'm a fan, right? I think it looks cool. Let's see what we're working with here. There's definitely more listed than before. Interesting. But like interesting food for thought too. Like only a what, like a 6K, yeah, something like 6K. Only a 6K investment, right, will make the price jump to like the 170 level, which is what, I mean, I do kind of feel that we're setting up for something big to happen, right? Like one way or the other. And I'll tell you this much. If I'm wrong, right, then I kind of do feel that we would see something. Let's say I'm wrong. Something like this, maybe? Maybe? I'm not sure. But then you would have like a deviation here. Anyways, that's what I think. Back to the curation part though. So anyone like tuning in, right? If you want to get into y00ts, other than if there's just something you feel is just really looking good, everything is like really subjective at the end of the day, because like there's no rarity in things, right? Like if you would go to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/the NFT Cat, I listed a most beloved y00ts traits tier list, right? Which kind of should like get you going with regards to like y00ts traits, what's in demand, what is not. But like y00ts are like very different from like other projects where there is no real rarity, right? So I can basically do this, like select from rare to non-rare, obviously there's a few 1/1 UTs which are obviously rare, right? I mean, like if something's 1/1, like how do you want to argue, voice correct, argue with that? But I do kind of feel you don't want to jump into this, right? And being like, well, I kind of like the number 60 or whatever this is. Like, dang, I need to 68. I should probably get some glasses. This being number 68 does not matter at like in the grand scheme of things, because like I'm not sure why it's number 68. There's no rarity in things, right? So don't like let yourself be fooled. Number 68 is definitely not more rare than I mean, like this is kind of weird. Even it's not more rare than the number 7571. I mean, like if anything, like this one is a absolute grill, right? Again, there's no rarity in UTs, right? Like it's definitely like trade based, right? Everything is equally rare. So what makes it rare, like some of the perks for some trades, right, which make it more in demand, like to start off with. And secondly, like whatever the community just like has more in demand, right? As in like any collection out there, crowns are definitely more in demand than other random trades, right? So I will not necessarily say that like any crown UT is a krill UT, but it's definitely like a more high in demand UT, right? So if you would go to the crown trades, you see that the floor price for crowns is what, like 4 something? Yeah, 4.4. So which is what, like nearly a 4x floor price, which is a little high. Let's just call it like it is. But equally, right? Like crowns are more in demand, right? So like, are there like an equal amount of crowns as I mean, as this cap? Yeah, but like people don't like care as much for this cap as they do for crowns, generally speaking, right? So that's why you can see like crowns come at a premium. So just bear in mind, like whenever you're buying your UTs, be cautious of what you're buying. Don't let yourself be led by rarity of in whatever way, shape, or form, because like, you know what, like the rarity does not fucking exist, and that's just like the way it is, folks, right? So my advice to you, if you would like to get yourself a UT anyways, look at like the video I uploaded at youtube.com/NFT Cat with the most beloved UT trades tier list. That should get you like a little bit help. And on the other hand, sticking with floors is always like a good idea, right? More liquid, less risk, and like a risky kind of in a risky industry to begin with, right? I mean, like, whatever do you think like it's worth to basically pay more of a premium because like you happen to like something better? Fact is, I mean, like, these MFers are all kind of likable to begin with, right? If it's your cup of tea, and if it's not, then it's not. But you know what? Like, subjectively speaking, right? If I'm looking at this one, yo, that was kind of ass. Sorry for that. Not quite sure what's happening, like, occasionally, but like, StreamYard sometimes does give me like a hard time, to be honest with you guys. Anywho, let's just get back to y00ts. So what I was saying, right, is that don't let yourself be fooled that this one is like any more or less valuable than the next one, right? If it's me, I happen to like this one a lot more than, let's see, what's double the price. I like that one a lot more than this one, even though like it has like the windswept hair straight, right? Or this one. I'm sure this, yeah, I mean, like, there you go. It's decent in rarity, but like rarity means nothing with y00ts to begin with, right? So yeah, I mean, like, you can only spend your funds once, right? So yeah, I mean, like, if we were to actually like shoot up, if you're buying it at like this price to begin with, then you would not like enjoy any gain, right? And if we were to actually like come down, one second. And we were to actually like revisit the lower levels, then you kind of would have lost like, well, a boatload. Because if you were to overpay for something someone else would not pay that amount for, right? Then you lost it again. Like, then it's just a floor, right? Whatever is looking good to you might not look good to someone else. And that's like the hard part and like the easy part about like y00ts, right? Just buy whatever you like, buy whatever you feel makes the most sense, right? Like, I've had like Chris Taylor from like Magic Eden on, who is a diehard y00ts fan, and he is very much like in favor of like color palettes, etc., etc. So, well, if you like this color palette, for example, and you believe like this is good looking art, and you believe like this is something well, you might want to one sec. You might just want to like get whatever the fuck you want, right? And that's just like the truth to it. So boom, having said that, like that's enough y00ts. Actually, before I like tone it down on y00ts, let's see if like anything has been listed recently, which might be like somewhat of a good opportunity. I mean, I'm always like a sucker for like these color block halos. But you know what? Like, do you think personally that this would be worth nearly 2x the floor? And if like the answer would be yes, then go ahead. Like, it's a great looking y00t, right? But does anyone, I don't know, like y00ts are kind of tricky, right? It does look good. It does look awesome. If you want to spoil yourself a little bit, then this one might be like very good looking in order to like do so, right? But yeah, how can you validate that it's not worth a floor? I mean, like I do think that it's too good. It looks too good to be a floor, but you cannot really quantify it with y00ts, and that's just like the fact of the matter, right? So buy whatever you like. I mean, like I'm a fucking broken record on this one, but like you guys get the drift by now. Boom, on to the next DeGods. Same shit as with y00ts, pretty much, right, folks? I think like both of them like look so good, to be honest with you. You know what's actually like extremely interesting when it comes down to DeGods, right? Like DeGods have had like the, obviously, when we're talking about market cycles, which is like a something I wrote an article about like the other day on market cycles within like NFTs. To be honest with you, right? This is something I do kind of want to get back at because I think it's just interesting. If we are looking at like the market psychology, right? Like you see like optimism, excitement, euphoria, anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation, anger, depression, disbelief, hope, recovery, blah, blah, blah. Where would we be, right? Because like I do kind of feel it's, if we're looking at the DeGods chart, and DeGods has had many high highs and many low lows. So let's just look at here, right? Where do you think we are? We've seen like the monthly heavy selling, right? And like the heavy selling definitely has like slowed down. It's just like many, like some of these iffy kind of rallies, right? And what is the sentiment like, right? So in the article I wrote, let's say like capitulation is over, high volume, big red candles, sharp and fast crashes, emotional state, maximum fear, right? People basically dying to get out at like whatever like price they can, surrender, panic selling. So yeah, I mean, like that's one. I think it's kind of fair to say that that's definitely behind us if it's up to me, right? The next stage could be anger, right? I mean, like, if it's not capitulation, if we're kind of past that, then I do kind of feel like the next one would be anger. Many online arguments. Frustration and resentment. I don't feel we have like that much resentment against like NFTs right here, right now. It's not that people are quite literally angry. Like, we've seen that, right? But it's been a while. Blaming entities like Frank DeGods. I mean, like, Frank DeGods has definitely been at like the center. I'm not judging whether he should have been or should not have been. Like, I'm just stating that he has been at the center of, well, anger, right? Investor behavior, revenge trading, people refusing to sell at a loss, right? Volatile bounces. I mean, like, we did see like some bounces here, right? Boom, strong bounce, boom, strong bounce, boom, strong bounce, boom, little less of a strong bounce, right? Like, so like this has been what? How long did we have like these volatile moments for? Let's see, from here, I think like this is still capitulation. July 2024 to what? For a year, I guess. I think that's fair to say. And after, I mean, like, ever since like what, like many months, right? Like, it's kind of boring ish, like Phil's rally, nothing. And I mean, like, the crazy part is, like, we've broken out, right? Like, objectively speaking, like, we have broken out. But I don't see like anyone like posting like trade setups for this, right? Like, if this were a shit coin, I do kind of feel that like everyone and their mom would like lose their minds. Now, there's always like the counter argument that like TA does not work on NFTs. I wouldn't know why it wouldn't, right? Because like at the end of the day, right, technical analysis is really more of like the, well, observations you make on price action more than anything, right? I don't think like you need like any qualifications. I mean, like, you can literally chart like the COVID, the way like the COVID disease spread back in the day, right? So like, why would you not be able to chart like NFT price action? Like, you can chart Pokemon cards, you can chart Bitcoin, you can chart stocks. I don't know why people are, well, why people would say that like NFTs are the exception to the rule, right? We see like the EMAs lining up quite nicely. And like, especially if you're looking at the daily, actually, right? So like the EMAs I'm using are like quite a lot. 200, 150, 21 and 9. I think like, just like generally speaking, with 21 moving average like is an important one. I kind of feel that we're about to break this one anyways, right? I mean, like, that's A, B, C, boom. Unless if we wouldn't, then it would just like take longer, right? If I were to be wrong, then could be this, maybe. You shouldn't like check like the timing though. Like, that's really not too important. It's about the movements more than anything. But like it is going to be interesting. Like, you know what, like we did have like some kind of a flash crash, and like it crashed like right into and like bounced off like perfectly off like the which one, the 50 daily EMA, does that which coincides with like the 9 weekly EMA, interestingly, right? So you know what, like if anyone can like decide for themselves whatever they want at the end of the day, right? But if you're interested in this asset, like right here, right now, what would be like the argument to wait, right? We've bled like what? I think we bled like minus 90% over like 3 times. Minus 90%. Oh, geez. Minus 90% one time. Minus 90% the second time. Nearly 3 times. Isn't that nuts? So, I mean, like, what do you want me to say? Like, how low do you think this would go, right? Like, I think, like, the counter argument would be that, like, no one will ever care about, like, NFTs anymore. But then why does your favorite crypto Twitter account still, like, use a NFT as his profile picture, right? I think, like, that's the $1 million question here, right? Like, so, like, what if NFTs were supposed to be done, then why are they just not done? Interesting food for thought, eh? So yeah, I mean, like, that's kind of why I'm like, if you'd ever dip your toes into NFTs, what would you be waiting for? Like, from like a clear sign from above that like you have like permission to spend in NFTs? Are we waiting for an oscillator? Because, like, I'll tell you this much, right? Like, by the time like everyone and their mom kind of decides like, okay, like this is the oscillator we've been waiting for, it's kind of same as saying that like you want to buy Pokemon cards like after they pumped. Like, I prefer to buy it when like most people don't, and like whenever people, I mean, at the end of the day, we're talking about collectibles, right? And how do you time a market? You really don't, but like you can make like an estimated guess. And I think like this is a great estimated guess for, well, this is my hobby I kind of wanted to get into. And quite a lot is being offered right now. Some amazing pieces, right? I mean, like, for Christ's sake, I mean, like these pieces have been listed at what, like 2,000 Solana floor price or something like that. So if not now, then when? Right? You tell me. If anyone in like the audience feels like I'm talking out of my ass, call me out. There's a chat. Feel free to like provide your counter arguments, right? But I would say though that if people would be like, well, Cat, we're still waiting for an oscillator, right? What was the oscillator for us making this jump to begin with? We've already like moved like 50% up. What is the oscillator there, right? And you know what, like, since like I'm yapping now anyways, look at like the US dollar value. Like, it's at a all-time low, right? Would it be insane to think that we could actually like do some stuff here, right? Like, let's say hypothetically we would actually, for the sake of it, let's say like Solana would remain the same, right? Let's just like have fun with this a little bit. Let's say we would go to 12 Solana, 30 Solana. 30 Solana is like a 5 to 6x from here, and 12 Solana is like a small 2x. Where would that be on like the dollar chart? 2.5x is here, which would coincide with like the 50 EMA. I don't think like that's too crazy. I even think like that's perfectly plausible. And if we would go like a 6x from here, or 5.5. There you go. Would it be crazy for us to just like hit like the 100 weekly EMA? I mean, like, it's still like pretty much like a loss in the grand scheme of things. Retrace to the 0.5 Fibonacci level. No, I wouldn't think that's being like unreasonable. I don't at all. So let's see, right? Like, interesting times. I mean, like, this is definitely not the native currency. Like, we all know that you pay in Solana and not your US dollars. But like, then again, like, if this would be wrong, what would be the alternative, right? One more dip down, maybe. I don't know, maybe. I mean, like, fact is, we see like a lot of volume on DeGods. Whoops. We see, I mean, like, we see a lot of volume on DeGods in general speaking, right? Like, so if we're talking about market cap, DeGods is only number 9, below Geckos even, right? 32,000 Solana. So that's one. But if we're looking at like the 7-day volume, they are what, like 40% below MATLATs? And MATLATs, I mean, like, let's just call it like it is. Like, right here, right now, I do feel like a lot of the volume from MATLATs is coming from selling. But also like Matlats, like what? They have like a market cap of 160,000 Solana rather than 32,000 Solana. So something is brewing there, right? Like it's good liquidity, good volume. I mean, like what would you rather like speculate on, right? Like things with like good volume or things with shit volume? Can't be me. And you know what? I mean, like, folks, let's just call it like it is, right? I think whatever like DeGods has going for them, right, in the purest form of it all, it's objectively just like the best fucking community and art on Web3, right? On-chain art. So yeah, I mean, like talking about like the on-chain art, because like I'm not gonna like bother you guys with this. You either like agree with me or you don't. That's fine, right? Like I don't care. What I do care about is just like nerding out on like the profile pictures I just like fuck with. And that's just, I mean, like some people prefer to just like look at their shining Charizards or shining Mewtwo's or like Pikachu's or whatever. Baseball card, sneaker, Z-Fi. I mean, like definitely mid as fuck, my man. How are you doing, brother? I co-host a weekly show with Z-Fi, by the way, where we deal on medievals. And I mean, like Z-Fi, to be honest with you, we have like a big next week coming on, like starting from the 23rd of March. It's going to be Prime Week, and we're gonna celebrate that. More news on that soon. But right here, right now, DeGods, right? You might look at your baseball cards and just feel euphoric, right? That's how I feel when I'm looking at DeGods. These things do not deteriorate over time. I do not need a third party to basically validate the way if they're real, like the state, etc., etc. It's verified by the contract address. So this is it. I prefer, so think of this, right? I can just like open my browser and show you guys like whatever portfolio in the world. I can show you guys whatever is listed on like the secondary markets. Good luck with that with physical collectibles. Right now, if you just don't like it, that's fine, right? I happen to like it, and it's very personal for like each and every one of us. But I would choose a digital collectible over a physical collectible every day of the week, and that's just what it is, folks. So that's kind of it. I mean, like let's just get through the DeGods right here, right now, right? What is the state of the market? I think it's fair to say that like right here, right now, grills and apes are extremely expensive, right? These are some of my grills I listed, and I think like they're really expensive. I also believe like they're way better than the rest. I'm just gonna call it for what it is. Like, these are like some of like the absolute best grills in the collection, in my opinion. Look at that detail, right? The dead being inscribed in like the teeth, etc., etc. Look at the way like you see like the detail in like the transcendent skin, etc., etc. But hell yeah, I mean, like Zephi, objectively speaking, they're some of like the most like best big curated grills. I spent like a year or so like acquiring these MFers. But you know what? Like, and this is just like the thing, right? You're going to overpay for grills right here, right now. Let's just get like through the grills, because like kind of like also mine, they're way overpriced. But you know what? They're selling for like these kind of amounts right now, and that's just like the way, right? Like, that's just like a fact. If I mean, let's go to the mythic skins, for example: Acid, Ice, Nebula, Trance, and Radio. Look at the latest sales. Sold for 47 14 days ago. Sold for 47 16 days ago. Sold for, I think, 50 49 what, 18 days ago. I mean, like some of these were sold like a little cheaper. The Radio skin, they're being sold, right? And big part of it is lucky buy, right? But like, still the price people are spending for it, right? Like, they might not like pay for it like physically right here, right now, but like the spin comes down to the same, folks, and that's just like the way it is, right? So grills are absolutely super expensive right now. Now, what does that mean, right? Because rather than saying like, I mean, like, in better liquidity times, to be honest with you, you would not be paying like fucking like 10 floors for a mythic skin. You wouldn't. But when it comes down to collectors within DeGods, like, they go above and beyond, and that's just like the fact to it. This is probably the most active community I've witnessed in Web3. If you would come to the Discord, you would not know it's bear market within NFTs, because like, I mean, like, where like some of the other where some of the other like blue chip projects are still kind of shallow in chats, this is like one ongoing conversation, like 24/7. And I mean, like, that's just the way it is. DeGod holders, they also like, they pay a whole lot for their grills. The BST channel, meaning like the buy sell trade channel, for anyone who doesn't know, it's super active, right? It is what it is. I mean, like, I've seen some crazy fucking purchases, right? This one, and it's a good one, right? Like, it's a really good one. But is it like a fucking 3 floors good one? The market decides that it is. Who am I to judge? Would I do it? No. But it's a really good X-ray, and people are paying for it. So let's just like get to it. 5849, boom. 5849. I mean, season 1, don't care. Season 2, really good. I do like the reworked version of season 2. But I mean, like, holy smoke, season 3 is like pretty damn good too, right? Now, should this be sold at like the same price a radio should be sold? I do not believe so. But again, this is kind of what I'm referring to, is that we are here with a community who values their grills a lot, right? So basically, to like put the proof in the pudding, the most, like, the objectively speaking, like the best mat lad, the Matt King, recently has been sold for what, like a 7x the floor price, which is rather low. I mean, like, you see like DeGods grills being sold for like a 10x the floor price on pretty much like a weekly basis right here, right now. And I'm not shitting on mat lats. I like mat lats. I do. But we're just talking about like the behavior of a community within its ecosystem, right? So yeah, I mean, like, if anyone's interested, buy yourself like and you just want to like check it out, like nothing more or less really, get yourself a Ute. It's the same ecosystem. It grants you access to the same chats, the same Discord, etc. Try it out, and if you don't like it, floor the fucking Ute. But so far, like, DeGods are definitely, I can see like why the volume is that low, and that's because like people are just absolutely spending funds at this NFT brand, right? Even in the post Frank era, right? They have monthly raffles. They have, the team is active, right? Sure, like the original founder left, but at the end of the day, folks, whether we like it or not, it doesn't change anything to the art. And if anything, it did make speculators leave. And right now, a lot of collectors have like taken their place instead. And that's kind of where we're at, right? Let's see. I mean, apes being super expensive right now. I mean, like 2x, is that 2x the floor price? A little over 2x, actually, like 3x pretty much. I don't think it's cheap, but then again, I mean, like, x-rays are kind of what they are. At some point, x-rays were like equally expensive to apes, and I do kind of feel like that's probably where we should be headed. But I do think that like around like the 9 Solana mark is quite fair, to be honest with you folks. Another crazy buy, right? Like this one being sold for what, like 14, 13 Solana. So nice. And just look at the detail with DeGods, right? Like, I do kind of feel, guys, like, and then here's also like something kind of crazy, right? Like, I'm not even getting sponsored by DeGods. This is me just like nerding out. Look at like the eye for detail on like the way like the art has been like implemented, right? You will not see if you just like look at this from like a distance like this, but if you zoom into this, you can actually see that the buttons are mini skulls. I mean, you see like the blood on like the tuxedo. You see these white stains, which I'm not sure what they are. No comment there. You see like the golden chain with like the dirt and also like the jewelry basically attached to it, right? Big ring, smaller ring. A lot of love has been like put into like this collection, that's for sure. And this one is like a fine piece, but again, like guys, like again, like you gotta understand that people are paying like the same kind of price for these kind of pieces as for mythic wings, right? I mean, like we're talking about like 2, 3, 4, 5x the floor price. Let's see if anything been listed recently. What would be a crazy good buy? I do kind of like this one. I'm not going to lie. People sometimes like dislike the pipe, but in my book, like you should be able to handle smoking pure fucking gold. Let's just call it like it is, right? The Drug Lord outfit, like you see the horns implemented on this, right? Like the blood dripping out of the horns, right? You can see like the skin with like the cracks are open. You can see in the open ass crack, no, all jokes aside, you can see like the turquoise like pouring out, the blood underneath, right? Like so much eye for detail, right? The Solana chain is like a mythic trait. I wouldn't say like it's like the most sought after mythic trait, but like it's a pretty damn good one. It's a pretty damn good one. Like, you gotta ask yourself this, right? Would you rather have like a mythic trait or an ape skin? If it's me, personally speaking, and I know like a lot of DeGods would disagree there, I would go for like the good mythic trait, like any day of the week. Any day of the week. But yeah, I mean, like let's look at the several versions of this one, right? 2835. 2835. Boom. I mean, like for a season 1, this is actually kind of decent, right? Season 2 is like really good, but like season 3, I mean, my oh my. You either like this or you don't, right? But like, I like this one a lot. I think it's a really good one. Really respectable. Looks absolutely solid. But you gotta zoom in on the art though, right? Like, let me like give you guys like some cool examples of like how you would be rewarded for like zooming in on the art. Let's see. Here, for example, did you guys know that there's one stone on like his head which is actually blue? In a Dimmadome hat. Isn't that crazy? But you really got the like zoom in on the pixels, right? If you're into this stuff. Also with like the Gucci hat, for example. Let's see if we can find one. There we go. There's 1B, which is different. Isn't that nuts? Isn't it? I mean, like, you either like it or you don't, right? There's no wrong opinions here. But what I definitely would say though is that it's cool. It's been like, it's designed with attention, right? By like, if you don't care about like what you're designing, then you would not care about like these kind of little like Easter eggs. I mean, like, let's get to it. Which are the ones which look good? I do like this one at floor price. Just a nice sticking in its forehead. No big deal. You see some blood here, but like also some rainbow-esque kind of goo dripping out. Whatever that is, right? Glasses look pretty damn good. And our guy's obviously jacked. There you go. As he should be. Let's call it like it is. You guys might actually find like season 3 like quite different on this one though. 1143. There we go. Seasons. Very different on there you go. I mean, like, season 3 is definitely like a lot different from this stuff, right? Definitely more of a fan of season 2. Definitely. And fact is, I do not give a rat's ass about like season 1. Not at all. Not at all. So yeah, I mean, like, that one is looking pretty good. A batched trade is pretty good, right? What does that mean? That's basically a it's basically a trade which gives you a batch on the DeGods.com website, meaning that once a month, based on owning a batch trade, you can claim tickets, and with those tickets you can actually like partake or like participate in monthly raffles, which is just like a nice to have. I mean, like, in my opinion, should definitely like be should basically be like presented at like a premium. I don't think you should have like batch trades basically at like the same kind of valuation as the other ones. I mean, like, zooming in, right? You see like the 33.3, that was like the paper hand bitch tax. Basically, I believe, I mean, like, this was before my time, folks, so like don't judge me on this one, but like as far as I know, like, whenever someone was undercutting the other one, right, back in the day, it would automatically be taxed by 33.3%, basically incentivizing people not undercutting. And you can see here paper hands. DeGods, obviously referring to season 2. I mean, but if you just like look at it from this distance, you wouldn't know, right? So yeah, I mean, like, I'm quite sure this one looks like pretty good on the other seasons as well. 1546. I mean, that's pretty clean, right? I mean, like, that's a good looking profile picture in my book. And I'm not saying that because it's cat skin. Like, it's officially called leopard skin, but like in this channel, we do not want to have like anything to do with that. This one kind of is what it is. Who cares? But season 3 looks damn good. Season 2 looks damn good. Listed at floor price. I think like this one is actually like quite good. I think this one is like pretty cool as well. Porn mustache gang. Devil wings. Aesthetically quite nice. People like back in the day did not really enjoy like this skin, which is I think like it's not granite, pink granite, I believe. Pink granite. Oh, there you go. 8345. Let's see. I don't think this season 3 looks that good though. Just being real. It's fine. Let's just call it like it is. Like the season 3 is kind of meh on like the skin kind of thing. With this one in particular, like with mythic skins, right? Like you gotta, they're actually like quite exceptional. Let me just like show you. Eight seven five seven. 8757. There you go. I mean, like this is where like the mythic skins really shine on like season 3 in my book, right? Like really clean, really it's just like the cooler way of an X-ray. Let's just call it like it is. Season 2 looks like very, very, very good too though. But yeah, I definitely suggest to just like remain with what are they called? Floors. Oh, let's continue. $50 NFTs to be swapped. I do kind of feel that like with DeGods, so like it does not take a whole lot for like people to just like massively start buying this asset, right? At the end of the day, because so many people like the name value with like DeGods is so good. You know what? Like, I'm not seeing, if I'm being honest, I'm not seeing like anything too crazy of a deal. Does not mean that they're bad deals. I think they're fairly just like reasonably priced for what you would expect. Gemin. I just feel like it's really reasonable what we're seeing here, right? When it comes to, I mean, like, you might like one floor over the other, right? Like, I would say like this one looks like pretty good, right? You could say this one looks pretty good, right? This one definitely looks good, but more so on like the season 2, which we're looking at right here right now. Nudes always do well. I mean, like, this one looks like dope as well, right? Like, they're all kind of good, but then again, like, how far do you want to stray off your floor price, right? Like, whatever, like, on the one hand, you can only spend your funds once, folks, right? So, like, what would you rather have? Like, if you'd have like 25 Solana, let's just call it for what it is. Like, if you had like 20 to 25 Solana, would you rather have like 4 of these, for example? 1, 2, 3, 4. Or would you rather be like, you know what? I kind of like this one a lot, as well as this one and this one. You know what? Because, like, at the end of the day, like, would you rather collect like more of what you really like, or would you rather collect more in quantity, right? That's so personable, like, that's so subjective, like, that's not for me to decide. I can say like a few things. I do think that like floors are probably a better value than krills at this level. If anything, they are far more liquid, which is worth something as well. And having said that, I mean, like, you might as well just like go with whatever you like. I will say this though. The one I like the most around the floor level will be this one. And that's subjective, right? Like, it's whatever my opinion is. It's whatever, like, you can agree or disagree on. I don't care. It's all good. Like, that's the cool art. Like, that's why it is different from meme coins, because like there's actually like there's room for the individual here, right? There's room for like your individual opinion here. And I think, like, more than anything, that's what makes NFTs fun, right? You want to make it to where I kind of prefer mine over yours, or you prefer yours over mine, right? Like, that gets the trading going. Like, at the end of the day, like, this is way less of a PvP kind of market we're in, because you can just like collect for the sake of it. And if you're going to collect like tokens which are the exact fucking same as any other token out there, there's nothing to collect, right? And here, believe it or not, many people think of these as like speculative assets. I think one should appreciate it for what it is, which is either utility in some cases, but like what we're covering here, what we're covering in this channel more specifically, is curating the art. We're nerds, right? Like, we like to nerd out on these things. And I think like this is the best looking art. I think this one is great. I think it has great detail. I think like the Dimmadome is like, it's fairly rare. People don't care about it that much, but like when more players would enter in the market and it's fairly rare, then people will start caring. I think like the the zebra skin, it's not the most loved skin, right? But like it looks very nicely in like the grand scheme of things. Just the blood on the Dimmadome hat, like the blood and the like the zebra stripes, right? Like the redness in like the war armor, the redness in the classes. I believe like this one is like pretty fucking cool. That's just my opinion though. Like I think like this one is absolutely amazing. And as for the rest, right? Like guys, you know what? Like I think this one is really cool too. For example, I'm not sure why this is going like this fucking slow. But holy shit, is it going slow? I think this one looks like really, really, really good. But how can I say like to pick this one when it's like what? Like 25% more expensive than the other one? Like you would basically pay like the 25% based on whatever you see fit, which is totally fine and totally fair. Just fact is, you can only spend your money once, right? But let's 8767. Let's look at like the different versions of it. It does look kind of cool though, right? It does look kind of cool. Very nicely balanced. I mean, like it's a good looking god for sure. They actually make like the metal work on this one for sure. The red is kind of out of the blue, but like the blue definitely is not out of the blue. Gold really matches nicely with the Dimmadome hat, and like so does the white. And I mean, like the season 1 is what it is. Like I don't give a rat's ass about season 1. Who are we kidding? So yeah, I mean, like folks, you know what, right? Like if you're into I mean, like this one, like, there's so many ones which look good. Like this one looks good as well. But you gotta understand, right? Like if you have like your budget, like would you rather have like 3 of these? Which is an option. Like that's for you to decide, not for me. Or would you rather have 4 of these? What do you want me to say? There's no right and there's no wrong. There's just actions and whatever you feel comfortable with. But like all I'm going to say, because like we are with like quite a lot of people here though, don't come yapping at like whatever point that there's 50 plus people tuning in, which is quite a lot, right? For a quote unquote dead asset. 50 plus. If you're waiting to get into NFTs, right? What exactly is it you're waiting for? Right? That does kind of bring me back to like the technical of things. Like after like a breakout like this and a retest, right? Do you think this will be like a fake out? Do you think like we would see something like this happen? It's possible. Like anything is possible in life. It's possible that the bottom isn't in. Is it likely? I don't know. I don't know. I do not think so, but like opinions can be flawed, right? Like I can be right, I can be wrong, who knows? But I will tell you guys this though. If this were a meme coin, this would be like the trading setup like everyone and their mom would be like waiting for, right? And it's not a meme coin, it's art. It's the floor price of art, of this art charted. So we will see. It's interesting food for thought, if anything, right? Again, like I think like this market is incredible. I think it's so nice that we can basically transact from anywhere over the world, right? I do not need to go to fucking conventions with my binder hoping that I do not get mocked, etc., etc. Boy, oh boy, if we would ever touch this, right? That will be like a 40x from these levels. I don't think it's really likely, but I definitely think it's possible to just like revisit like the 618 level, which would coincide with like the 200 weekly EMA. 200 weekly EMA. 40x. I mean, that would still would not be like a new all-time high. That would be like around this level on the US dollar valuation. That's not too crazy. And it does coincide with the 718. A little bit higher, a little bit whatever. Now, like, do I think it's likely? No, I don't know. But anything is possible in life, folks. And I'll tell you one thing. If you ever thought to yourself at like these levels, you know what? NFTs are kind of interesting. It could be like the next big thing, right? The NFTs did not change, right? Like the teams kind of got swapped out. Like some players fucked off, like Frank DeGods. Let's just say it like it is. But like many people fucked off, right? Like Bungill from Lily NFT. I think like Yuga Labs had like their many ups and downs. And I believe like still like some. If you liked it here, why not just like take a stab here? The art did not change. Obviously, like do your own research. You don't want to like invest in something which is completely dead or like halted, where like players halted activities. But even if it's not DeGods, right? There are like many like good projects I am a fan of personally. Like, and again, like don't fucking like don't come at me later, right? But like I like MATLABs. I think like they're cool. I think they're onto something. I think there's a lot of FUD for like them only receiving like $500 or like what 1% for the airdrop on their new token. I think SMB is like a really good one. They've been around, right? Like very much like DAO focused, very much investing focused, right? Like if there's going to be like a player within the space which is more focused on activities and being part of something, right? Like it's SMB. famous foxes, right? Like making like huge moves like these days. I mean, just look at this. I mean, like, fuck this fucking chart though. Famous foxes, like they already kind of did the thing, right? To where, you know what? Let's fucking compare this with DeGods for a second. Or y00ts, don't care, all good. DeGods it is. Again, guys, don't let me be your judgment on what to do and what not to do. I mean, why do you do me like this though? Maybe it would be better like this. I mean, like, this kind of sucks. Anyways, can we just agree that this pattern kind of looks alike? For the sake of it. Oh, there you go. On the line chart, it hasn't broken out yet. Good thing we're not charting the line chart, folks. But I mean, like, Foxes is like great infrastructure, right? I recently had Soul Quicks on. Very good player, great ecosystem, many builders, many people who try to be like net positive within the space. Claynosaurus, like really big on like the IP things, right? Like we've been hearing like Claynosaurus and their partnerships for the longest fucking time. So let's see, right? Like let's see what gives. I believe like the next few months will be like very, very, very interesting for NFTs. And at the same time, let's leave it at that. Like we've been nearly going on for 2 hours now. I appreciate like each and every one of you like tuning in. I hope you had a good time. Please do me the favor of engage with me on socials, right? Like follow me on the NFT Cat _soul. Follow me on YouTube, right? Like and subscribe, all the kind of the cool stuff. We will have like a video later on YouTube today. Tonight, actually, folks, like we have at 8 p.m. CET and I believe it's 11 a.m. PST. We have Degen founder from Rogues on, right? Which is this one. Boom, they're new. Right there are. Boom, there we go. This one. Very interesting, like new player on the block, right? Like I think like Rogues are making like quite a lot of noise, right? They've had some ups, they have had some downs, and I'm excited to get them on, right? And let's ask them basically what I want to find out is why should anyone care about like Rogues to begin with, like from a collectability point of view. So we're gonna ask them the hard questions and let's see where it goes, right? Like if anything, feel free to like DM me like any kind of questions. Like you can also like put them like underneath like the announcements on Twitter. there you go. Feel free to put in any questions. And today, in what 6.5 hours from now, on my personal account, I'll be I'll be on Just Bluish, which is a former co-host of mine, first podcast. I have no clue what to expect. I guess like the it's the Just Bluish show, starting out covering NFTs, but like more so on like a holistic point of view within like collectibles, like on like any chain, where I'm very much more focused on Solana. So folks, I mean, like right here, right now, that's it for me. Appreciate you tuning in. Like, subscribe, follow, like all of the good stuff, and we will get like a whole lot more coming. I am out. Peace.